So correlation is considered positive when values both increase together. A perfect positive correlation is when they'd all line up perfectly in a straight line. High positive correlation is when they line up pretty close to a straight line. And low positive correlation is when they line up nowhere near to a straight line. So a value that we would relate to a perfect correlation would be a 1. A high positive correlation would be something like 0.8. A low positive correlation would be something like 0.3. Okay? When a correlation is negative, the values are decreasing together. So in other words, you'll have a negative slope. A low negative correlation is when dots are kind of spread out a little bit more. A high negative correlation is when they're closer together. They don't quite form a perfect line, but it's definitely a negative trend. Then a perfect negative correlation would be like a -1, where things were perfectly in line together. So, no correlation is when you have dots all over the place and like the closest approximation you can get is a straight line through the middle. This is a 0 correlation. All right? Okay. So looking here, we're going to create this scatter plot, and then we're going to decide what the correlation is. If it's a high positive, low negative, whatever it is in between. So we're going to do height to weight. In weight, the lowest weight is 155, and the lowest height is 67. So I'm just going to start, I'm going to do one of those bumpy things, and I'm going to start at 60, and then this will be 62. This will be 64, 66. Actually, we want to start at 65. Or 60, let's start at 64. So 64. Then 66, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76, 78, and 80. That's enough to cover everything. Okay, my lowest weight is 155, and my highest weight is 240. So I'm going to count by 20 pounds starting at 140. There's 140. Here's 160. Actually, I'm going to do 140 here, and 160 here, 180, 200, 220, and then 240. Okay, so let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and plot these. So at 67 inches, they're at 155 pounds. So they don't weigh very much. So there's 140, 155 would be about right there. Okay, then at 72 inches, somebody was 220 pounds. It's there. At 77, somebody was 240 pounds, 77 inches. And then at 74 inches, someone was 195 pounds. And then at 69 inches, someone was 175. So let's see, that's 40, 60, 75. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a pretty strong, because it's almost a perfect straight line, positive correlation, which we would expect because if you're taller, you should probably weigh more to carry around all your height. Okay, I want you guys to go ahead and try. So you need to make a scatter plot. So you need to define your sides, create a scatter plot, and then say what the correlation is. Is it strong positive? Is it weak negative? What's going on? Okay, and once you do that, you're going to go ahead and match these correlations to the picture that it's shown. Okay? And once you're done with that, go ahead and write your recap, and you are done for today.